Barack Hussein Obama, born in Honolulu, Hawaii on August 4th, 1961. He was elected as the 44th President of the United States from 2009 to 2017. He is the first African American to be elected as president as a Democrat. Through domestic policy, Obama's first actions were aimed towards the health care reform, which was passed into law on March 23rd as the Affordable Care Act of 2010, otherwise known as Obamacare. It was said to have significantly changed health care by making health insurance available to 32 million more Americans. Though, over the first 10 years, the act would cost $940 billion. Overall, the true cost of Obamacare would cost the nation a $138 billion deficit reduction because it increased premium cost, in which insurance companies had to cover the cost of individuals with pre-existing conditions, as well as provide a wide range of benefits that had to meet the criteria of the Affordable Care Act of 2010. If the certain criteria weren't met, such as being uninsured, people were taxed. The individual grade that President Obama will get on this policy is a C+, because it helped many people by making health insurance more affordable, but it came with a big cost.
DACA started on August 15, 2012. It stands for Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. This policy is an American immigration policy to give people a renewable 2-year period of deferred action from deportation and become eligible for a work permit in the United States. To receive DACA, they have had to have been present in the United States after being brought to the country before they were 16. The individual grade that President Obama's policy will get is a C, because many people love the idea of DACA and others disliked it very much.
His economic policy focuses on increasing taxes on higher-income Americans and decreasing federal deficit. His major proposal is a $800 billion economic stimulus package, including American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. 1/3 of the money went into states to keep people from laying off public employees. 1/3 of the money went into tax cuts for middle class. 1/3 of the money went into public facilities projects. The result is positive. 11.3 million new jobs were created. Unemployment rate fell from 10% to less than 5%. Inflation and interest rates remained low. Federal deficit fell from 1.4 trillion to less than 600 billion. Middle class wage grew by 5%. Lower class grew by 8%. He left behind a strong economy when he left office. It prevented another possible depression.
Obama started in the summer of 2009 with his new education programs. There was a $4.35 billion grant program for the states. He called it Race to the Top. The money was to encourage the states to embrace its education policies, including charter schools, college, and career-ready standards, and evaluations of teachers using student test scores. The Education Department made the adoption of the new college and career-ready standards a key component of applying for the grant money named Common Core. In 2009, the Education Department launched an income-based repayment plan using students' income after graduation. Students saw their monthly payments drop considerably. By 2011, a key requirement of the No Child Left Behind law that all children be proficient in reading and math by 2014 wasn't just unrealistic but impossible. The individual grade that Obama will get for this policy is a B because it did make the education more difficult, but it taught the students more.
The president gets a C+ grade because many of his domestic policies had two different sides to it, meaning that Americans had split reactions to it. For example, many people love the idea of DACA, but many others hated it. Another example is Obama's health care, because over the 10 years, the act would cost $940 billion. However, his health care significantly made insurance available to 32 million more Americans, or 95% of the legal population. In addition, his economic policies are efficient and practical, but the annual economic growth rate did not exceed 2%, which means that income inequality is still a problem because the rich will have higher income than the poor, which may cause political discontent among voters.
One of Obama's biggest accomplishments was on May 2, 2011, when he sent SEAL Team 6 to kill Osama bin Laden in his compound, the man who was behind the 9/11 attack on the Twin Towers. Obama had a team of 4 lawyers ready for any legal conflict after the raid. Obama receives an A because he was able to track down the compound and kill bin Laden. Iran nuclear agreement and trade policy was made by P5+1, which is America, China, France, Russia, and England plus Germany. The agreement banned Iran from making nuclear warheads in exchange for raising economic sanctions against them. Iran's uranium stockpile decreased by 98%. Obama's individual grade is an A because he got Iran to stop producing nuclear weapons. Obama promised when elected that he would focus on pulling troops out of Iraq. He kept that promise by pulling 90,000 troops out of Iraq in 2010. By 2012, there was only 150 in Iraq. Obama gets an A for this because of how quickly and effectively he got troops out of Iraq. Obama sent 40,000 plus troops to Afghanistan within the first year to focus on fighting terrorism in Afghanistan. 2011 peaked with 90,000 troops. Admitted the fight was not yet over, but Osama bin Laden had been killed in 2011, leader of Al-Qaeda, a huge terrorist group in Afghanistan. Obama's grade for fighting terrorism is a B because he could have done more to fight against terrorism, although he accomplished a lot. Obama gets a B+ on his foreign policy because of how he got things done in the Middle East. He was successful with killing Osama bin Laden. He made agreements with Iran and the P5+1 to stop the buildup of Iran's nuclear missiles. He pulled troops out of Iraq and also fought against terrorism.
Although a president cannot be completely judged until years after his administration, it is fair to say that President Barack Obama had his ups and downs as a president. When he took office, he was thrown into the recession that began in 2007 during President Bush's administration. To combat this, Obama implemented the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act to help combat the recession, raising the number of jobs and helping bail out the banks. Although the impact wasn't immediate, and time will tell of its impact, the ARRA was the right step towards getting out of the recession. Other policies such as the DACA and Obamacare were not as well received, claiming that the DACA gave rise to illegal immigration and Obamacare cost the nation billions. Abroad, Obama fought to end conflicts in the Middle East. During his administration, Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden was killed. President Obama also saw a trend of troops being sent home from Afghanistan and other Middle Eastern countries. Although there are strides to stop conflicts in the Middle East, the civil war in Syria still continues to this day, and hundreds of thousands of refugees are looking for safety. President Obama and the UN also banned Iran from developing nuclear weapons in return for raising economic sanctions against them. President Obama has also been the first president to visit Cuba in almost a century and has also reached an agreement with China to reduce pollution. Overall, President Barack Obama has had his ups and downs as a president, but it is unclear to determine his true impact until time has passed. As of right now, his administration has been given a B grade based on the work that has been done.